Hey guys, welcome back to another Sorted George Garage with me, Julian. The 65 Coronet saga continues. We've got the seat out at the moment, we've got the hood off, and I've got to show you them chassis rails. Here we go, banging. Right, the problem mainly is the transmission crossmember. Being as this is a 65, I cannot get a replacement, like a new replacement. Certainly if this was like a 68 to 70, oh god, yeah, in abundance, you know what I mean? But they don't make a replacement for a 65, certainly not at the moment, anyway. So obviously I've got to repair it. Now, because this is torsion bar suspension, typical Chrysler, what's happening is obviously you've got the torsion bar there, you can just see it there, going into the transmission crossmember. Well, obviously they, like the bars twist. That's what keeps them up. That's what the suspension is. Now, around the torsion bar where it's held in place on the transmission crossmember, that's fine. It's just the outer area. But what I don't want to do is cut out this area and then have this area twist up on me, because obviously that area is gone. So my idea is take out the engine and transmission. The weight of that is out of the car. There's nearly half a ton, Then I can release the pressure on the torsion bars. Obviously that will lower the car down. That will drop that right down. But at least, again, there's no pressure on the cross member. Worst case, I could even take out the torsion bars if I need to. But by taking out the engine and transmission, I can then jack the car up via the K-member rather than the body. That way then the body is sat as it should do, as if it is sat down on its wheels. So I need to get on and take out the engine and transmission. Here we go. Well, we're a couple of hours into it. I haven't filmed anything because it's just an absolute nightmare at the moment. Everything is rusted and it's been a nightmare to get undone. But the reason why I'm filming now is because I've got a bit of a query here. Okay, now I don't know why it is. Maybe just because they were in too much of a hurry or what, I don't know. But radiator, as you can see there, okay, you got the two holes. Now, these are the holes that it was on, all right? But I'm going to go sideways here, sorry. But when you go down the bottom there, you can see some old witness marks, but that's where they were, okay? And it's exactly the same on this side. Here, turn the torch on, there you go. This one here, but there's witness marks on that one. But you can see by my finger there, so that was sort of sat like that, okay? But then again, down here, you can see how far out that is, all right? Now, when you watch the fan, okay, spins lovely. Now, I've already moved this down, okay, into its correct position, and the fan still spins fine. It doesn't catch up here or anything like that. But up at this level, as you can probably see, we can see the end there, it's on a skew, right? Any idea why it is you would put a radiator in like that, other than being in a hurry? Now, the only thing I can think of is that the bottom of the fan would actually cool the bottom part of the radiator where the oil is for the transmission fluid, because that's obviously where the transmission fluid gets cooled. Other than that, I haven't got a clue. Do us a favour, if you know, leave a comment below, would you? Because I'm intrigued by that one, and that's a bit daft. I don't get it. Anyway, I'm going to crack on. Here we go. Here you go. This is something I haven't shown you. There was a trunk, wasn't it? Trunk floor. Absolutely superb. I've just taken the fan off, and I'm just putting stuff in the trunk. But absolutely superb in here, isn't it? Apart from that bit down there, all right. And there's that hole, but the rest of it, superb. I don't know what that is. Pass, got some numbers on it, and obviously that lower quarter down there, look. I ain't worried about that. But all this lot's absolutely superb. Lush. It's daft, isn't it? Gullies, lush, trunk, tiny little bit of scabbing across the front here. That's all. Nothing to write home about. Literally nothing to write home about. Down here's all good. Sorry, get you in focus. Lush mush. Absolutely. Superb. So I don't get why it is that the sort of like the bottom bits, you know, like down here, and that is all rubbish. I mean, this up here is absolutely superb, the whole lot. Also the lower fender bit here, and that bit. Yeah, I got to show you the transmission crossmember bit, haven't I? Have a look at this in a minute. Keep watching. Right, let me get on with this. This is what I've done so far. Oh yeah, everything is so tight, as I said before, right? I've just undone this. I could not undo the manifold to exhaust. They are just rusted solid. So I've undone the nuts and studs. That stud there, let me put the torch on, there you go. That stud there is already broke off, as you can see. But that one there, and the other 4, and the 6 on that side, were 5 on that side were really loose, and there was 1 that was really tight, and that's probably the only thing on here that has been tight to torque settings. Everything else seems to be just undone up tight, and then it's rusted, and you ain't going to get it undone. That's why they have torque settings, you know what I mean? So you don't do it up too much, like, you know, too tight and break bolts and everything else, especially when they rust. And around the exhaust, that's what's going to happen. But look, everything is just, you know, look, water pump, back, you know, the face of the water pump. Just, everything is so tight, or it's loose, it's daft. Nothing's done up as it should be. It's either, or it's like, oh, okay. Let me crack on and I'll show you the cross member in a minute. Sort of, George. Power steering pump. Here we go. I'm just trying to siphon out the fluid in here. Look at that lush colour. Brown. And that. God. Nothing has been serviced on this car for years. There we go, go down to the bottom, get as much out as I can before I take it off. Wow. I'll be back. Right, back again. So, right, I've drained that out, not a problem. Now, I cannot get that off. It's a 5/8. Right, yeah, it's a 5/8. And I've actually made that loose, and if I go round that way, it's going to be really tight now to get on. It will get on, but it's now tight, obviously, because I've kind of rounded it off. So I now need to get some heat on that. Get off, there you go. This is the trouble that I'm having taking this lot apart. Everything is either stuck fast, solid, or it just falls off. And all this lot, I mean this one here, that goes from there to the other side, that was absolutely stuck fast. Just break a bar job, you know. It's ridiculous. It is what it is. Right, let me crack on. Right, I've let this soak overnight. I've given it a clean up. I've just put a bit more WD-40 on there. Right, let's put some heat on this. Let's give it a go, shall we? See if this will help. Why not indeed? Obviously, I want to get the nut to turn on that pipe, but I don't want the pipe to turn itself. So, give it a good heat up. You can see the WD-40 burning away now. See how we get on. Doesn't matter how long it takes to get this nut out, I just don't want this pipe spinning. Right, back of the tip. Right, see if we can get this on. Oh yeah, that's on. Let's see if this will now move. No. Can I go down that way? That's a tighter fit. Ooh. Here we go, we got it. I think. Yeah, we got it. There you go. Right, I'm just going to put some more fluid in there just to cool it down and make sure it does twist all the way. Should be alright, I know, but you know. Right, let me get this off and I'll come back. Dear, oh dear. Ridiculous, isn't it? Right, Salty George, there it is, job done. Look at the state of that. Filthy. Look at the thickness of it here. I've cleaned all this lot off. Well, I haven't cleaned it off, I've just gripped it and it fell off. Here, speaking of sludge, have a look at this. They used a Jags bottle as a catch can. Brilliant, brilliant idea. Sat down here, the tube was going in there, not a problem, great. Hang on. Look at the sludge that was in the bottom of there. Look at that. And that's just in the bottom of the catch can from, you know, like what was coming in and out of the radiator, as it were. Well, obviously it's not, it's, you know, like rubbish, dust, whatever that's dropped down here over time. I mean, you can see the state of the outside of the bottle, but it's like, what I'm getting at is, obviously, this ain't been looked after. You know what I mean? What a shame. What a lovely car. 65B body, 2-door hardtop, and it ain't been looked after. You know, by the looks of it, it's the original 273. Ain't been touched, has it? It's a shame, really, but oh well, at least I got it, and it will be touched, and it will be sorted. Back on the road. Let's crack on. Here we go. Banging. Right, here we go. Let's drop the oil, shall we? Let's have a laugh. This is a 7/8 nut. Here we go. God, jeez, you're joking. God, it's a Sump nut. My God. Really? Oh, good God. You're having a laugh. God! Oh my God. What do they do? Beat it in with a hammer? Good God. Mate. You definitely have a giraffe, huh? Oh, I think. Did I get it? No, I didn't. I'll be back. Good God. Right, here we go. Let's give this sucker a go. Yes, I've got a breaker bar on a Sump nut. How ridiculous. But, come on. Just move. That's what I want you to do. There you go. That's better. That was ridiculous. Having to use a breaker bar on a Sump nut is a first for me. I told you everything was rusted, didn't I? Right, can we crack on now? Oh God, I can't even turn it with my hand. I'll be back. Right. That's better. Oh God. Yeah. Now let's see what we got. There we go. Well, it's quite thick, and I can't smell any fuel. No, I can't smell any fuel, so that's good. It's going to get a new fuel pump anyway. But that's one good thing, I suppose. Right, let that drain. Here we go. Right, and there it is. There's the sump plug. That's the colour of the oil. Nice chocolate brown colour. Wow. Like I say in the last video, we saw the state of the rocker covers inside. It's got to be condensation. If that was like a head gasket gone, then yeah, that would be like the milky grey, not chocolate brown like that. That's just condensation. So it is what it is. But yeah, using a breaker bar on a sump nut. This is exactly what I'm fighting with here. This is why I haven't done much in the way of filming, because it's just everything is, I'm fighting with it. I am absolutely fighting with it. It's ridiculous. Right, let's crack on. Here we go. Well, I've just found out why it was so tight. They've used the plumber's PTFE sort of tape. They've not used a gasket. That's why. So because there's no gasket, look, there's no sort of seal. And they've, yeah, they've just used that plumber's tape and done it up really tight. You know, like FT, you know. As you saw, breaker bar to take out a sump nut. I mean, come on. Anyway, let me crack on. And that's the colour of it after I'm draining it into the pan, into my, you know, recycling thing. Yeah, there you go. Chocolate brown, how about that, eh? That's just short journeys around the yard, you know, moving it with all that condensation as we've seen inside. There's no way that this has been driven on, you know, like journeys, even down to the shops or something. I'm sorry, but nah. This poor old girl definitely ain't been looked after. But like I say, it is the chocolate brown. It's not the milky grey colour, so I still don't think it's had gasket gone. I think this is just yard driven and that's it, you know. Right, transmission fluid time now. Let's have a look at the colour of that. Here we go. Right, transmission pan. Absolutely caked. Look at it. Good God. Well, it is what it is. Can't be out. Poor girl. She ain't been looked after at all, she ain't. Question for you. Why do they never make one of these oil pan, catch can things big enough to take the transmission pan? I'll tell you what I did see, which I thought was a really good idea. Somebody had a great big trash can lid, you know, the type, not like the wheelie bin, but you know, like the round trash cans. And it had the lid, and he just cut a hole in the middle and like took the handle off and put it on upside down. And I thought, what a great idea. Fantastic. At least he'd be able to catch all of it. Unfortunately, I don't have one of them. Not spare anyway. Right, let's just loosen all this lot off, and then we will see the state of the fluid, can't we? Let flavour flood out. I'll tell you what, I used the long socket, that might help. I'll be able to get to it better then. Oh, there is a gasket. Oh, I thought it was just put in with instant gasket. Looking at the state of it over here. We are loose, that's good. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to loosen up these two up here and leave them so that this pan can pivot that way and rush out this side, so I can sort of control most of it over this side. I know I'm going to lose a bit of fluid on the floor, but I got plastic down, so that's handy Harry, as you do. Right, chuck. Bear with me, call up. You know this lot's just going to go in a minute, don't you? Then again, possibly not, with the lack of fluid that this vehicle has had. Oh, we're starting to drip. That's good. So something's happening. Tell you what, I'm going to do these back up again, like that, and then I can control it this end, can't I? Oh, are we ready? I'm not. This is going to go, I expect, no in my luck. Let me just undo that a little bit. Get the core. That doesn't stink. That's not nice fluid at all. It is what it is. Do I allow this to come down? Yeah, why not? It's dripping on my arm anyway, so sounds like it's raining. It's lush. Chucking it all over the place now. Come on, let's have a little bit more down here. Here we go, that's better. Right, I'm going to let that drain because I know what these are like. They just go everywhere. Right, I'll be back in a minute. There you go, come round this side. I know I've got the torch on, but yeah, it's not exactly red, is it? Look at that. More of a brown cola colour. Look at that. Poor girl. She's not been looked after, has she, eh? Never mind. That's what we do here, isn't it? Sort of George, right, I'm just going to let that drain like I say, because it's not going to get everything in the pan all the time. Right, be back in a bit. Right, transmission pan's out. Look at the state of this in here. I've just been having a bit of a dig around and whatever else. Bit gritty in there, not too bad. It's obviously it's been sat, but you know, yeah, a little bit gritty. Nice grey colour. And over here we have got the filter. Obviously this is the bit that goes up, and then underneath is the bit that sits in there. So yeah, you can see the state of this. Yeah, a bit gritty. That's obviously not been driven for a while. It's been sat for quite a while. Oh dear, it is what it is. Yeah, gasket. This is the rear drivers, rear passenger, front drivers. Yeah, you can see there's obviously been a leak here with the build up here. You can see that. I've just seen one over here. I knocked it off, but it was around here. So, yeah. She's been leaking a good one by the looks of it. Same as this lot. Look. Yeah. Wow. Oh, well, it is what it is. Let's crack on. Right, prop shaft next. We got 4 7/16 bolt. I've just been cleaning out the lot around here, around the edge of the bolts, as it were, so I can get a little spanner on there. Obviously, you've got to keep this cap, okay, in here. They're what they call needle bearings. Make sure you don't lose any, otherwise, yeah, good luck. Right, let me just take this prop shaft out and I'll be with you. Well, we've done the rear, but guess what? I can't undo them. Well, now there's a surprise, eh? Come on, here we go. So now the middle section, you've got like pressed on studs, yeah, like your wheel nuts, your wheel studs, and then the back part there is 9/16. Right, here we go. Let's have fun. Okay, sorted, George. That's that done. The prop is out. Now, obviously, the section sort of comes off of this. The bit that is on the prop kind of just tucks inside here. You can see the lip coming around there, okay? And it can only go on, I won't say one way, but 2 ways, either like 6 to 12 o'clock or 12 to 6 o'clock kind of thing, you know what I mean? Depending, obviously, on the orientation of this. And I will show you the other end of the prop in just a second. On most props, obviously this section here comes out of the transmission as well, but obviously this is an earlier one. This is from 1965, so this is still around the sort of push button era of the transmission, which reminds me I've taken out the gear selector and I've taken out the park cable, and I've also taken out the speedo cable. So we're all disconnected now. All we got to do now is lower the rear of the transmission down. As you can see, I've taken out the 4 bolts from the transmission cross member. So that's the next job. Here we go. But before that, as promised, I'll show you the end of the prop shaft. Yeah, this is the end here that fits in that bit that I've just been showing you. So it's either going to go, you know, one way or t'other. Yeah, that fits in nice and snug, and this edge here, this lip, fits inside the bit that I pointed out earlier. So right, that's that. I'm going to crack on with the other end of the transmission now. Here we go. So I'm just prepping to take the engine out, right? As you can see, we're almost there, almost ready, and I forgot to take out the distributor. I should have done, I know, my fault. Anyway, I've taken out the clamp and the bolt, right, and I can't even move this distributor. Imagine trying to do the timing on this. Look, that should just move. Look, it's gone. There's nothing holding it in. Nothing. The clamp is out. And there's the bolt hole. You know what I mean? Just there. Jesus. Oh, look at that. We got it. At last. Have you seen the state of that condenser? It is what it is. I'm going to crack on. Okay, a couple of days later, and there she is. She's out. Yep, what an absolute mess. Disgusting, isn't it? Hey, look at that. Unbelievable. Filthy. Let's put the torch on when I come around here. Look at that lot in there, eh? Where that's all built up. Good God. Disgusting. What a mess. Obviously, I sort of cleaned up here a little bit. Initially in the last video. But it is just thick gunk. Unbelievable. You can see where the exhaust has been leaking on this side here. And here's the transmission. God. Look at this over here. That. I'd say she's been sat in water. Like a marsh or something like that. Marshland or something. Yeah. How can I put it? It's been somewhere, I reckon, where it gets wet, so this is like the underneath is kind of like submerged, and then it dries out, because that is so much gunk on there. I don't know what's going on here, why it is in such a mess. Something must have been leaking somewhere, or what, I don't know. But yeah, reason why I say that about the marshland, you know, like the wet area, I got to show you the underneath. Have a look at this. Okay, so here we are up under the driver's side. Now the transmission, obviously there's the speedo cable. That one there was the part cable I had to take out because it was going through the brace for the transmission. This particular transmission is the cable type. That there is the cable that does the gear selector, reverse, neutral, drive 2 and 1. And then that one over there is for park. That goes into the back of the gearbox. I didn't know that. I didn't realise that at all. But then again, 65, I suppose that is the changeover year from... They went from the push button on the dash, but that was in 64. So 65 went on the column, but they carried on using them boxes, I suppose, until they sorted out something new in the 904s and 727s. And then it went like the rod and arm and that lot on the column. And then you had the selector just above or just below the kickdown on the 904 or 727. So this is a bit of an oddball year, but it's fine. Obviously got the cables out, found out how to do it. There's a couple of little videos how to do that, and you'll see a cheeky little link here in your top right hand corner if you want to go and see that one. Anyway, floors. So floors. So we've got carpet there, so there is no floors. Okay, and you can see how bad it is. All right, yeah, nice and rusty for that cable, but hey, never mind. So you can see how bad the floors are. Floors, yeah, we've got some expanding foam, but that doesn't normally work. Like, you know, it's all right for, you know, the odd day or two, or if you want to sell the car to a Brit, you know, because obviously they're, you know, like 2,000-3,000 miles away, and they're not exactly going to go knocking at your door, are they? But hey, it is what it is. Floors, like seating area, well, there's your bolts still in the floors, and yet the seat is out. Okay, these two were rotten and actually came off of the bottom of the seat already. These weren't too bad, but then they decided to stay behind. So, you know, that's a bit loose, as you can see there now. Seals, yeah, not too bad. Probably a bit weak, but yeah. Floors underneath the left foot of the driver, we have more expanding foam. That's the underneath of the fender there, but yeah, not turn around that way. There you go. That's underneath of the fender. Not very good, but it is what it is. Oh, we've got a leaf in there. What about that, eh? Look at that, eh? Sorted, George. Yeah, so that's a little bit crossy up there, so we'll do that. You can see how this is like down to that. Yeah, we've got more expanding foam. It's fantastic. But what the annoying thing was that, I mean, I could see rot, if you like, in the car, in the bodywork, you know, bottoms of the wings and the fenders and all the rest of it. But what I wasn't told, and this is the, you know, the annoying thing, what I wasn't told was the chassis rails. The passenger side isn't too bad. There's just a small little bit that's got a slight dent in it, so that'll be repaired. Might have been from a, like, you know, somebody coming off of a curb, I don't know. But this is the driver's side. Now, I did, when I first got the car, I put the jack underneath, and as you can see here, it kind of like collapsed, because this is the side and that's the bottom. Okay, obviously it's all to do with all this lot here as well. It's all, you know, like pretty poor. Okay, up here you can still see the carpet as well. All right, but this bit here is obviously like the outrigger bit where it goes out to the sill, and obviously I got to repair that as well. So you can see how bad that is, how rotten that is. Yeah, not the best. So now you know why it was that I wanted to take out the engine and transmission, because what I want, oh, excuse me, sorry, because what I wanted to do, or what I want to do, if I take out the engine and transmission, there's no weight in the car. All right, there's half a ton gone. The car at the moment is propped up via the bottom of there, okay, which basically it is, for all intents and purposes, it is sat on the floor on its wheels. Okay, obviously that's all attached to the K member, blah blah blah, and torsion bars. Now I will loosen the torsion bars so there is no tension on it, because what I don't want to do is to cut this out and then suddenly have this bit twist up, because then everything's going to be out of alignment. So the idea is, now let me get up, hang on. So now the car is jacked up front and rear. Obviously you saw on the lower arm thing, however it is that it's there, okay, and the rear is up on the back axle. Okay, like I say, as far as the car is concerned, chassis, rails, whatever else, it is sat on the floor. Okay, when I had this jacked up before to check the brakes, I was jacked up on the chassis. Okay, and this was quite, it sort of like there was a bit of a pop when she opened. Now she is still closing as it was when she was down on the wheels, and she's always done that down on the wheels. So I know that now there is no pressure, there's no tension, there's no nothing, because as far as the car is concerned, it is now sat down on its wheels. So being up like this, that's how I'm going to attack that small little part of the chassis rail there, like, you know, the transmission bit, as it were. It's not a lot, but at the same time, I don't want anything going out of alignment, etc. That's why I've taken the engine and transmission out. I just have to release the tension on the torsion bars, and then I should be able to make a start. So, but that's going to be in the next video. Guys, thanks ever so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Like, share, hit the subscribe button if you wouldn't mind, because it will help this channel grow. A huge thank you to everybody that has subscribed and that watches these videos. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you on the next one at Salt with George Garage. Bang it. And I've got to show you them chassis rails, haven't I? Salt with George, here we go. Oh, hang on, we got an audience. The cats are coming. Dad, what are you doing? It's not so much the chassis rails. The idea is, the plan is, take out the I want to obviously address the engine. I want to clean it out. Blah blah blah. So it's got to come out. I'm rambling. Let's try that again, shall we? Right, I know I said it was the chassis rails. Maybe not. Not so much the chassis rail. Yeah, there's a little bit of welding. You'll see that, but it's mainly the yeah. I've already, it is a, where are we, 5/8, where you gone, where you gone, where you gone? Obviously, hopefully to, that's better. Right. Obviously that's what I was told, but, drop the phone. Okay, I've let this soak overnight, cleaned it up, I'll put some penetrating, okay, I've let this soak overnight, put some WD-40 around here, giving it a clean up obviously. I've just put a bit more on, but who's a moron? I've just emptied it out, dropped it in there, but... Oh, that'll be the doorbell then. Okay, that's... Okay, prop is out. As you can see, we've got a... Okay, that's that done. Prop is out. Now that comes away in 2 sections, as it were. No, it don't. So I've got the bolts out of the transmission, whatever you want to call it. Can't remember. My mind's gone blank. It can only go in one way. Well, 2 ways, obviously. 6 till 9 o'clock, and then 9 till 6. Oh dear, oh dear. The props, kind of 6 props. You can see the dish, like the lip, the dish. These dishes here, it's like, you know, like it comes in a, it can only go, oh God. As you can see, I've wrapped this up already, so. God. Or t'other way, I'm not going to turn it all the way around because obviously it's all the way down, tucked up in there with all that lot, the brushes and everything else wants to fall out now. Come on. Really?